Yes, people, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another live stream and your daily Chelsea news update. And yeah, with Chelsea, expect the unexpected. Out of nowhere, yesterday afternoon, less than an hour before Germany versus Spain kicked off, it was announced that Chelsea had agreed a deal to sign FC Basel's Portugal under-20 international Renato Veiga for a fee of 14 million euros. He's set to undergo a medical with the club ahead of completing a move to Stamford Bridge, and he will sign a contract through until 2032. He's a bit of a utility player as such, can play in midfield, can play at centre-back, can play on the left, at left-back, is comfortable inverting into midfield, very much fits the profile of what Enzo Maresca's looking for in the squad, what Chelsea are looking for. Whether he's going straight into the first-team squad or not, remains to be seen at this point in time, but his arrival will certainly raise further question marks over the future of Ben Chilwell, who on the face of it, his style of football doesn't look like it suits what Chelsea and Enzo Maresca are looking to be doing. Also, nothing has progressed with Chelsea and Jonathan David since initial interest was shown a few weeks ago. Chelsea have taken no further steps forward in regards to that deal. There have been more appointments made amid the restructuring of the academy. Manchester City's head of coaching has agreed to come to Chelsea in a key role in the new academy setup, and the Blues have appointed a head of talent sort of identification in Africa, as that looks like it's going to be the next market the club are looking to tap into and secure the latest and best talent from the continent. But yeah, big up to everyone that's already locked in, guys. Make sure you're smashing that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you are new round here as well. That'd be greatly appreciated. With 30 subscribers away from 10.4k. Smash that subscribe button. Join the journey. Become part of the channel. Let's try and get as many of those 30 subscribers knocked off as we possibly can in this show. Run the likes up, guys. Get this to 100 likes ASAP. It's free. It takes seconds. Let's say hello to a few of you before we dive into proceedings. Who is Renato Veiga? He is a Portugal under-20 international from FC Basel. We're going to get into that very shortly. Another 20-year-old. Can we focus on signing a striker for the first team? I agree. If England played like they did in the last round, they will be on the plane home tomorrow. Yep, they absolutely will be. Mate, do you think we need a striker, or do you think you're okay in the department? No, I think we need a striker. My personal opinion is that perhaps we're holding off until we see how Mark Guiu does in the pre-season before rushing into anything, because if he does really well in the pre-season, then the club might decide they don't need someone else, given they're probably going to deploy Nkunku there as well next season. So I think they're probably looking at it from that point of view. Yes, big up, brother. Hope you're doing well. But yeah, let's dive into it, guys. The main news that kind of out of nowhere, Chelsea look like they've secured their 6th summer signing. Literally one of them mad ones, a little bit like with Benoit Badiashile, Leslie Ugochukwu, etc. The deal just appeared out of nowhere. There were no links to Veiga whatsoever. It was just bang. Exclusive from Fabrizio. Chelsea agreed deal to sign Portuguese talent Renato Veiga from FC Basel. 2003-born left-footed versatile defender / midfielder slept to leave Basel training camp to join Chelsea. Package will be worth around 14 or 15 million euros. Personal terms agreed, and here we go. Literally out of nowhere. Out of nowhere. It's... Yeah, look, there's nothing wrong with it, It's good to move in silence. You don't want every detail of every transfer being reported in the media. And we've obviously moved silently on this one. Must have been a player who've been scouting for a number of months. You don't just suddenly, a deal just doesn't suddenly appear out of nowhere. This has obviously been one that they've been working on for a number of months, for sure. And Vega's a versatile player. Fabrizio adding there'll be no sell-on clause or add-ons in the deal. He'll undergo a medical and sign over the weekend, most likely. And Chelsea see him playing as left-back, centre-back and midfielder. So it very much fits the mould of one of those Swiss Army knife players that Matt Law referred to that Maresca's looking for in the squad. A guy that can fill multiple roles in the team. I don't know how good he is. Literally, no lie, the first time I heard of him was this news yesterday. So I don't really know how good he is. He come through the academy at Sporting Lisbon, and ironically, he was actually signed by Basel as Calafiori's replacement. So Calafiori went to Bologna from Basel last summer, and Basel signed Renato Veiga to replace Calafiori at the club. So if you can't get Calafiori, just go and get his replacement instead. Sorry, Ricardo who? So yeah, he was the replacement for Calafiori. I know next to nothing about him. He's a Portuguese under-20 international. Look, he must have a bit about him. He's obviously got some talent. He's obviously a half-decent player. But what the plans are for him, where he fits in at Chelsea, remains to be seen. Is he going to be a part of the first team setup? He's obviously going to be looked at in pre-season. And then we will go from there in terms of what the plan will be afterwards. He'll be assessed. And look, 14, what I would say on this signing, right, is it slightly underwhelming? Yes, you could certainly say that. But, if I'm going to try and be positive about it, it's cheap and it's relatively low risk. One of those that at 14 million euros, about 11, 12 million pounds. There's obviously going to be resale value there further down the line if things don't work out. It's one of those low risk, high reward signings. So I don't necessarily hate this signing in isolation. My issue is that the majority of the business we've done this summer has been underwhelming. I don't see a single needle mover out of the signings that we've made. Sanchez is set to be our sixth. Not Sanchez, sorry. Vega's set to be our sixth summer signing. And you look at the list of players we've signed. Obviously, Estebal's coming in 2025. But you look at the list of players we've signed, and I look at that, and I don't see a single one of them moving the needle and necessarily making the first team any better. We've signed 6 players now this summer, and you could argue that not a single one is actually improved the first team. Yeah, sure, we've got some more options in the squad and maybe some better squad depth. And, maybe we've got a B team that can win the Conference League. But, yeah, look, it's one of those for me. I look at the business and look, there's some good individual players in theory. But, yeah, it's not ideal that none of the business we've done so far really pushes that needle to improve the first team like we so desperately need to do. So, that would be a concern for me on that front. No doubt about it. That would absolutely be a concern for me. Obviously, here we go. He's set to undergo his medical over the weekend, and The Athletic have put out a detailed piece on how how Chelsea view Veiga and how they see him featuring in the first team squad, what the plans are for him and whatnot. Let me just get to a few more things in the comment in the chat right now. Man also looks like he came from some next level cartel. You don't want to mess with him. No, you absolutely don't. All these kids not going to fit in the squad. They're not, and we're going to have to sell. There's not space for him in the squad. We've got so many defensive options. One has to go. Probably 2 defensive players from the defensive ranks need to leave. How am I in the mud? I'd be interested to know how I'm in the mud. I'm not really sure what that means. Why I'm in the mud. How is Bastoni elite? I never ever said Bastoni was elite, but he's clearly an established player, good player. But Chelsea are never going to sign him. Big up, yes, brother. Surely you're starting to get worried about the club and these owners. It's obvious now. Forget the football and make the profit. Look, I've criticised the ownership. I've said many times, even just at the top of the show, that I'm concerned about the transfer business this summer to date. It doesn't mean that we can't rectify it in the remaining time in the window, but to date, the transfer business, no doubt about it, is very, very underwhelming. in my opinion. From Championship market to Swiss market, well, we'll see. Yeah, we literally are becoming a Swiss Army knife team. That is exactly it. Ownership is a so obsessed with the future and not the first team. Being terrible for 2 seasons. I agree. I'd rather buy a random Prem player. I don't know if I would rather do that. I'm not really sure. Look, this idea that Calafiori rejected us is not true, guys. You know, Chelsea didn't even put an offer in. You know, yes, there was interest in Calafiori, and Chelsea reportedly were going to offer players as part of the deal. But this idea that Chelsea got rejected by Calafiori just isn't true, because we never even put an offer on the table for him. No bids went in from Chelsea for Calafiori. So, well, you could say that, you know, whether we didn't bother entering the race or, you know, accelerating our interest because we kind of knew that we was going to go to Arsenal, that's a separate point. But this idea that he rejected us is nonsense, because there was nothing to reject. We didn't put any offer in for him. I've got absolutely no idea what the plan is for this guy. I don't know if he's benching Ben Chilwell or not, but yeah, I do not know what the plan is for him. Owners should give those players a chance. Otherwise, Joe Shields not going to leave. Why is everyone so negative? This is not a negative. This is not a negative on Veiga himself. It's more about the transfer business in general so far, because because in my opinion, none of the players we've signed so far this summer have improved the first 11. None of them do. You know, other than Dewsbury Hall and Tosin, the other signings are completely unproven. Really, they're unproven quantities. That is a question that I don't know the answer to, and that is a question that you'd have to ask someone at the club, because I don't know what the answer is to these. Sorry, I've defended the owners in certain instances, but I've been highly critical of the ownership. Even going back to the stream on Thursday night, there's a lot of things that they've done wrong. There's a lot of mistakes they've made. And yeah, you know, look, I'm not saying this Veiga signing is a mistake on any accounts, but yeah, look, the business is underwhelming in my view. There's absolutely no doubt about it. The business is underwhelming, and that is the reality of the situation. I understood these signings, but at least we should have one that'll push the first team to another level. I agree on that. I haven't really got too much of an issue with young talents coming in, as long as they're supplemented with players that are, you know, to some degree proven and are actually going to improve the first team. You know, you've got to get the blend right, because right now none of these players are improving the first team. What else are we going for? What else is being said here? Nkinku and Guiu centre forward, left wing Mudryk and Jackson, right wing Parmanoni, KDH Carney. Let's see. Caicedo wasn't proven when he went to Brighton. No, but he then proved himself. He then proved himself in the league. So yeah, let's see on that one. He did then prove himself in the league. Man having stars is also not the answer. No, it's not. It's not always the answer, but you do need that combination. And right now, we don't have that combination of youth and experience. It's just purely youth. But the Athletic have been talking about how they see Veiga being used by Chelsea, and there's some interesting bits in there. Obviously, he is, of course, a utility player. Look, I would have said it wasn't really needed. I don't know why Chelsea are looking for a left-footed defender. It must mean they're not happy with either Cucurella or Chilwell. But given how well Cucurella is playing, and given the fact that he 100% suits what Chelsea are looking to do under Maresca, you know, Chilwell is the obvious one to get rid of. But they might end up getting rid of none of them, and this Veiga lad could end up going on loan somewhere. I don't know where he'd go on loan, but he could end up going on loan somewhere. There's every possibility of that as well. But yeah, the Athletic adding, guys, that why Chelsea are signing Veiga. The acquisition of Veiga is another sign of Maresca's influence on the recruitment strategy led by Lawrence Stewart and Winstanley following the arrival of Dewsbury Hall. Veiga, unlike Dewsbury Hall, is not a player Maresca has worked with before. He does, however, fit a specific profile that the Italian is looking for to help implement his style of play at Stamford Bridge. A left-sided defender who can invert from fullback into a defensive midfield role when Chelsea are in possession. Cucurella is also viewed as capable of performing that role, having been deployed in a similar manner by Maresca's predecessor, Mauricio Pochettino, in the final stretch of last season. Veiga, however, offers a more aerial imposing option at 6'3" tall. He addresses what some have identified as a relative lack of height in the Chelsea squad. Maresca will assess Veiga in pre-season and judge whether he is first team ready or requires a loan to aid his development. He is essentially a year behind Calafiori, who became a breakout star for Bologna last season after moving back to Italy from Basel. Veiga's modest transfer fee reflects that. Chelsea consider him an excellent value proposition, particularly considering that he is taller than Calafiori and has a cleaner injury history. Above all, he is the type of flexible, multi-positional player increasingly prized by progressive, possession-focused coaches like Maresca. So what is clear here, guys, is that as Pochettino pointed out last season about he was worried about a lack of height in the team, Chelsea are just looking to add height, it seems. Adebayo, tall. Veiga, tall. Obviously concerned about lack of height in the back line. Hopefully that will make us better in the air. It'll make us better defensively as well. And hopefully it will make us more of a threat from set pieces in the opposite box as well. But it's absolutely clear that Chelsea are concerned by a lack of height. Chelsea like the fact that he is versatile, fits many different profiles. I would be surprised if he went on loan. I really would be. So let's see how he's going to be assessed. But I'd be surprised if he went on loan because, you know, obviously Chelsea have got Cucurella. They're unsure about Ben Chilwell. And then obviously Veiga can fill that left back slot. What this signifies to me is that Ben Chilwell is possibly going to be leaving the football club. And then you'll see Cucurella starting as that first choice hybrid left back, left centre back, with Veiga as the backup option, kind of the Conference League option, and those sort of things. Look, we don't know whether he's going to go on loan or not. I'd be surprised if he did go on loan, but that obviously can't be ruled out. That cannot be ruled out. Him going on loan, guys. It's a distinct possibility. But again, like with Guiu and like with other youngsters, let's see how they do in the pre-season tour. And then a decision will be taken then. What is being said in the chat? If you could sign one player realistic, who do you think would help us to win the Premier League? I would say Ivan Toney, but I know that's not going to happen. What else are we going on here? Veiga plays Champions League football where he performed. Yeah, Veiga did play in the Champions League for Basel. The guy's got some experience. You know, he's still young, 20 years of age. You know, he's had one season in the Swiss League. He come through the Sporting Lisbon Academy. I don't actually think he made a single appearance in the academy for the Sporting first team even. But that doesn't necessarily mean anything. They didn't agree with Pochettino on needing taller players and now buying taller players when Poch left. What that signifies is that Poch was never their guy, and they never believed in him, despite what they said. So there we go. That's the reality of that one for me. Absolutely the reality of that one. How come we have tall players, Badish? Well, obviously, lack of height has been identified as an issue under Pochettino, and it's clearly an issue that Maresca has raised as well. Clearly an issue. So, yeah, I'm looking at it, and there's obviously something that's now being addressed with your Adebayos, with your Veigas and whatnot. And it remains to be seen, guys, how much of a difference that added height in the squad, that added height in the team is going to make. Because one, I'm not sure if Adebayo or Veiga, how much they're not going to both go straight into the first team. Tosin, I think, will definitely feature more than Veiga. So yeah, obviously it's something that needs to be addressed. No, Gallagher's not joined Spurs. No, if he goes on loan, then what's the point of signing him? Because they look at him as one for the future, and maybe if they left it another year, then someone else might get him. I don't really know. Is the honest answer to that? Feel sorry for Maresca. Without doubt, Chelsea's a dream job for him. As soon as he steps out of line with Barley and Winstanley, he is sacked. Let's wait and see what happens on that one. Imagine a back four of James, Tosin, Colwell, Veiga. It won't be that though. For me personally, I think the first choice back four next season is going to be Reece James, Colwell, Fofana, Cucurella. That for me is Chelsea's strongest back four next season. I hope so. I hope so as well. Yes, big up, brother, big up. Well, yeah, look, let's wait and see what happens with this guy. I don't know anything about him. I'm not here to criticize him. It does feel underwhelming. That's not his fault. Leverkusen, when underfitted with a squad, you would say, I'm not that good, but work for a system. That is a fair point, and I absolutely agree with that. And I've said this for a number of seasons now. Like, I would much rather than big names, I would much rather Chelsea sign players that suit the system and are going to suit the way that the manager plays, rather than go for big names that don't fit the system, but they're a big name and it appeases the fans and it makes everyone happy. I'm happy to sacrifice on a bit of quality for a player that suits the system and is going to benefits how we play over someone that might be better but doesn't suit or benefit how we play. And look, I don't mind us moving away from constantly spending on big names. I really don't mind that. But what's really important is that we sign the right players. We address the areas that need addressing. These are the vital things. What else have we got? In the Roman era, we'd have signed Watkins or Tony by now, or both. Yeah, potentially. Yes, big up, morning. Will be interesting to see who the first choice centre-backs are. A lot of people going for their favourites, but I'm expecting the worst, hoping for the best. Brother, if you just expect the worst, then anything better than that is a bonus. I suppose, maybe it's not the best way to think, but it absolutely is a way of not being let down, I suppose. Basel was in a relegation scrap. Why didn't they look for the top left back in the Swiss league? I mean, I don't know anything about the Swiss league, so I wouldn't be able to comment who the top left back in the Swiss league is. Yeah, look, a lot of these players are going to go out on loan. I think a lot are going to be sold as well. But yeah, there is, having cut the squad size down, there does seem to be a danger that we are now bloating the squad back up, which is not exactly what we're looking for. Between Veiga and Calafiori, who would have preferred if Chelsea... Oh, look, if Chelsea were in the Champions League, I would have preferred Calafiori all day long because he's more experienced and he's further along in his development. I think it's a good signing. Let's see how he performs. It could be a Mallow-type signing for the left. Yeah, absolutely. I do agree on that. Honest opinion between Veiga and Calafiori. Look, I would have preferred Calafiori. Of course I would have done because he's further along in his development. And at this point in time, he is a better player. He's an established he's a full international. He's had a great season in Serie A, and he's a very good player. What else? I mean, I wish, but that's absolutely not going to happen. Yes, big up, brother, big up. How has he flopped at Portugal when he's an under-20 international? Please explain how that's possible. He's flopped at Portugal, yet he's never played for them other than at an under-20 level. No, look, those areas of the squad are yet to be addressed, and I agree on that. But the position with the goalkeeping situation is that Robert Sanchez is going to be assessed in pre-season. So I don't think Chelsea are going to be making a move for a goalkeeper, if they do at all, until they see how Sanchez does in pre-season and how he adapts to Maresca's way of playing. that is what's going to happen with the goalkeeper. The striker situation, I think Chelsea are holding fire to see how Guiu does in pre-season before deciding who to make a move on. But yeah, look, striker for me needs addressing. Needs addressing after. Absolutely needs addressing. But look, I think with I guess my thoughts, my final thoughts on Veiga are that he is essentially what Chelsea are hoping to be a Gusto deal on the left-hand side. I mean, admittedly, just literally at a first glance, doing a little bit of digging, it doesn't appear that he's quite at the same stage as Gusto was when he signed. But for me, look, it's a low-risk deal. And he fits that Swiss Army knife type of player that Maresca wants, you know, and he's expected to be used as an inverted fullback, and that's an area that obviously Chelsea have been looking to fill. Maresca believes needs filling in the squad. Perhaps he doesn't trust Ben Chilwell to be able to perform that role. And if this does turn out to be that left-footed left-back / centre-back rotational option for Maresca, then I think the quickness of this deal and the way that we've operated within this deal needs to be applauded. If we are still in the market for a left-back / left / centre-back, even after Veiga, then that raises issues in my view. This surely has to be the left-footed centre-back signing that we've been told that Chelsea are looking for. No doubt about it. No doubt about it whatsoever. But let's wait and see. But yeah, that news did just appear out of nowhere. I mean, I don't know what I was expecting, but I certainly wasn't expecting a Chelsea signing to be announced yesterday. That much is absolutely clear. Was not expecting that at all. But guys, 151 in the building, only 66 likes. Keep smashing that thumbs up button, guys. Let's get this to 100 likes. Please smash the like button, guys. We're heading towards 100, so let's get there as quickly as possible. Please run it up. It's free. It takes seconds, and it really helps boost the stream in the YouTube algorithm. So please do smash the like button and keep subscribing to the channel as well, people. We are 25 subscribers away from 10.4K. Keep smashing the subscribe button. It's free. It takes seconds, and I would greatly appreciate it. Let's get this up to 100 likes, and let's get this to as close to 10.4K as we possibly can. 25 subscribers remaining. Do your thing, guys. Join the channel. Become part of the community. Vegas stats from last season look good. I have a good feeling about him. We need to sort the goalkeeper. Don't trust Sanchez. Look, I absolutely agree with Sanchez, and I would stick with Petrovic for now. But if we're being fair, and what I would add is that, you know, Sanchez, clean slate, new manager, you know, he deserves a chance, perhaps, like every player does, to prove that he's good enough for Chelsea and to prove that he deserves a space in the squad. So whilst I'm not particularly pleased with it, I do believe that he should be. I do believe that he deserves the chance to be looked at, in my opinion. And ultimately, if the manager decides that, you know, he's good enough and that's what he wants, then let's see. Yeah, Jonathan David, we're going to move on to David shortly. Look, the squad was good enough. The squad, actually, as it turned out, was good enough to make the top four last season. We just lacked experience and lacked know-how in certain games, which actually cost us. But the team was good enough. The squad was good enough for the top four last season. So, look, the squad is good enough for the top four. Whether we can do it or not is a different question. But the squad is definitely good enough to achieve that. It absolutely is. So. Anyway, let's have a quick look at Veiga's stats from last season, because someone said they were reasonably impressive. So I'm going to have a quick look at Renato Veiga's stats from last season. He's not played an awful lot of football, by the way. Last season, Veiga, I don't even know where Basel finished last season, but last season, Veiga played. Veiga made 23 appearances in the Swiss League, scoring 2 goals and providing 1 assist. He made 26 appearances in all competitions and played just over 2,000 minutes. I think it's quite difficult to really get any sort of a sense of how good he is based off that, but he did make 26 appearances in all competitions for Basel. I mean, I don't really know how much that tells us. I don't really think that makes an awful lot of difference to my thoughts. Yeah, Cole will be on the bench. Yeah, standard. Yes, big up, brother. Appreciate the super chat. Basel fans say Veiga is better than Calafiori. I've not seen that. I don't know any Basel fans. I've not checked the reaction on socials from Basel fans. But look, if they say he's better than Calafiori, then maybe that bodes well for us. Look, Maresca was only at Parma for like 14 games. I don't really know what the situation was there and what actually happened there. Obviously, it didn't go well, but I don't know the exact reasons for it. Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. Stand still in football, you will get left behind. Chelsea aren't standing still because we are doing business, but the business is not exactly at this point in time moving us forward. And other teams we know are going to strengthen and we know are going to improve their first 11s. Meanwhile, we have signed 6 players now, and the first 11 has not been improved. Yes, technically it is a downgrade if you're purely looking at it from manager to manager. But on the flip side, you could look at it as an upgrade if Chelsea feel they've got someone who implements a style of football that they want to play, is tactically better, and can get the players playing how the club envisage. So over time it could be an upgrade, but right now on the face of it, of course it's a downgrade going from a proven established manager to a rookie manager. What else have we got going on? But yeah, anyway, let's have a look at Chelsea's transfer business in general so far this summer, because I think it's an interesting conversation, because there's a lot of people that aren't happy with it, and let's have a look at it. So this is according to Sky Sports, right? Chelsea have signed Mark Guiu, Tosin Adarabioyo, Esteval Willian, Amari Kellerman, Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall, and Renato Veiga. Obviously, Silva's gone on a free. Lewis Hall's gone out. Yeah, we all know about the players that have left. Then obviously Ansel Mino's going to come in for 14 million, and then Golding will be departing for 5 million. But look, I think some of the outgoings have been fine so far. Just as I said, you look at those incomings, and if people had said that these were our first 6 signings of the summer, I just look at it and I think, I mean, obviously Esteval Willian is a top class prospect for sure, and he's coming next summer. I don't really have a problem with that one. He does look incredible. Important not to put too much pressure on the kid, but he does look really good, no doubt about it, guys. We're 13 likes away from 100 likes. Smash that thumbs up button. It's free. It takes seconds. Run it up, people. Be greatly appreciated. We're closing rapidly on the 100 likes mark, so please keep smashing the like button. Otherwise, we're not going to sign any proven players, and you don't want that on your conscience, people. But you look at it, and can you accuse the club of lacking ambition in the transfer market? Now, I don't think you can accuse them of lacking ambition in the market in terms of looking at in terms of bringing players in. But we obviously, whether we lost out on Calafiori or not, we didn't pursue a move for Calafiori. and we pivoted to an unproven 20-year-old, maybe instead of going for someone more proven, you could have maybe looked at someone like Hincapi at Bayer Leverkusen. And look, everyone wants us to, invest on a proven striker and potentially another winger. And so far, coming to the end of the first week of July, none of that has happened to date. But in fairness, what I would say about Calafiori is he's not that proven either. He's had one good season in Serie A with Bologna, and he's had a good Euros. So I don't necessarily blame us for looking for cheaper alternatives, as Calafiori would have absolutely been looking for a starting spot. He absolutely would have been looking for a starting spot. But yeah, there's not one marquee signing here. But I feel that the club are actually moving away from the marquee signing way of doing things. And it's going to be more of these cheaper signings, in my view. That's how I see it going. That's how I see it going. Right, because it's not that exciting. To be fair, Maresca's been at City and been in that pressure cooker. Yeah, but it's very different being an assistant than it is a manager. Look, he's got the potential to be a good manager, no doubt about it. But this is a huge gamble, a huge risk. And look, of course, we're disappointed not to get Calafiori because he is more proven and more established. But let's not make out like he's some ridiculously established player at the top of his game. Yeah, sure, he's further along in his development, but he's had one good season in Serie A. He was playing in the Swiss league the season before last. So, I think we need to reserve judgment here. And as Deshaun has said, no one actually knew who Calafiori was a year ago. So, not many people know of Veiga. I'm not saying that Veiga is going to go and become a Calafiori type player, but why can't he have an impact? I'm not saying he's going to be phenomenal for us off the bat, but why can't he have an impact? How many big name strikers we signed that have done better than Jackson? In the first season, I agree. I'm not necessarily calling for some huge name. I'm just calling for someone that is just a little bit more proven, a little bit more established. I don't think that's a ridiculous amount to ask for, personally. And the business just isn't moving the needle. The business is just not moving the needle for me. So look, whilst there's some good players there, and there could be some good players for the future, there's players that have got resale value, which we know the club love so much. My overriding concern so far is that we've made 6 summer signings and not a single one of them actually improves the first 11, which needs improving. Yes, the squad strength, the squad depth and the squad strength needs improving, sure. But the first 11 also needs improving. As we chat here on July 6th, yes, there's plenty of time left in the window, but not a single one of these players so far is improving the first team. Yes, people, keep running those likes up. Keep running those likes up. What are we on? 100 likes right now. Next port of call, 150. Keep smashing the like button and keep subscribing, guys. Keep subscribing. It's about trophies and silverware. Facts are they failed in 2 years and will do for the next. I don't think we're going to fail for the next 8 years. But yeah, look, we have obviously been a failure for the last 2 seasons, no doubt about it. Tosin proven but not top 4 kind of signing. Guiu not proven. Willian not proven yet. Kellyman not proven. Look, I'd say Jules Dewsbury Hall is a proven player. Maybe not at Premier League level, but he is a proven player. And I like him. I think he's got qualities to do well. But do I look at Dewsbury Hall and think he improves the first team? Not. And Veiga's not proven even. Yeah, I think I do as well, of course. By that logic, we do not need any top or established players. Let's sign some 16-year-old Brazilian kids. Why can't they become... Yeah, look, we need established players. We do need some established players. No one's denying that. Look, I think Enzo Fernandez is a World Cup winning midfielder. I think there's proven there. Caicedo was proven a brilliant Premier League season. Look, Jackson is not necessarily proven. I absolutely agree on that. Has Nico Williams had a standout Euros? Yeah, look, Nico Williams has been very good in the Euros, for sure. No doubt about it. But, yes, his release clause at £43 million is great. But his wages are extortionate for someone of his ability and who's not achieved an awful lot in the game so far. We're ignoring signing big names in marketing and shirt sales. We struggled to get sponsors last season. We need one or two exciting players. We do. Yeah, look, I absolutely agree. I'm not someone that just constantly is negative about the club. I'll criticise where criticism is due. But so far for me, I'm saying it how it is. And this transfer window has been underwhelming. And it's okay to criticise it. And it's okay to say that. It's also okay to acknowledge that actually, do you know what? Some of these players could do a lot better than we think. And we could look back at this point in time and say, do you know what? I got it wrong. Fair play to the club on that one. But right now, there are people that just blindly support everything that the ownership does and everything the football club does, seemingly for no reason. So, yeah, that is a major concern in my view. So, yeah, I don't really know what the solution is here. I think Tottenham KDH are improvements for the first team. I don't think they are. They improved the squad, but they don't improve the first 11. I don't think Tosin. I think Tosin will play a lot more than people expect, but I don't think he's coming in to be a first choice centre back. I'd be surprised if that was the case. Dewsbury Hall, I think, could well find himself in the starting 11 because he knows Maresca's system. He's a different profile. He's a left-footed midfielder that offers a goal threat, but does he improve the first team? I'm not sure. What else have we got going on here? But yeah, that business is underwhelming. I don't care what anyone says, guys. There's time to rectify it, but this is the fourth window of a 4-window plan. And as of yet, we still haven't addressed an area that has needed addressing for the last 2-3 years. For as long as I can remember, this has not been addressed. And that is a striker. And that is a striker. And it's not been addressed, and it needs to be addressed. And we don't appear to be any closer to addressing the situation with the striker. And that is a concern. I don't know. I don't know if it's look. It is underwhelming. No doubt about it. It's underwhelming, and I do worry that it's not going to be enough to improve us. But let's hope the club have got a few more tricks up their sleeve, and there's a few more additions to be made to the squad in areas that need to be addressed. But for me, it's a concern, and I don't think it's I don't believe that it's unreasonable to say that. I think if you asked a lot of Chelsea fans whether they thought that the transfer business was underwhelming, then that is a problem. And that is something that we do need to move forward. So yeah, it's concerning. It is concerning. But look, Veiga could be an opportunity, guys. He could absolutely be an opportunity in this market, and it is it's mediocre. That's what it is right now. It's mediocre, and it needs to improve. Look, I wouldn't say it was moving like a small club, but what I would say is that is not the transfer window you would expect from a club that has got aspirations to get back to winning the big prizes at the top end of the Premier League. That is not you wouldn't say that the club has got that is a transfer window to date of a club that has got aspirations to do that. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if Oshiman's the guy. I'll be honest. Have any strikers stood out in the Euros? Not really. No, not really. There's not really been any standout performers in the centre forward department. Guys, 107 likes. Keep smashing that thumbs up button. Free. Takes seconds to do. Please run it up, people. Please run it up. Let's get this to 120, 130 likes. Got to be done. Got to be done, guys. Run it up. Run it up. To be fair, the transfer activity feels like Chelsea academy level. We're not moving the needle for the first team. Remember cup final against Liverpool? Yeah, I absolutely do remember the cup final against Liverpool. I was there. It was like we lost out because of a lack of experience and a lack of know-how in big games. It's disappointing. The window so far is underwhelming and disappointing. You know, and nothing is going to convince me otherwise on that front. Napoli want Lukaku. We want Osimhen. Mark my words, it's going to happen. Napoli are lowering their asking price. Let's see. Realistically, we're competing with Spurs, United, Villa, and Newcastle this season. Yeah, we are. We are. And I absolutely believe that we can finish in the top four. We've got the players and we've got the ability to finish in the top four. I think these last few transfers have been well different, but I still give this Blue Co another 2 seasons to get it right. I mean, look, we're going to have to give them time to get it right because they're not going anywhere. But this season is crucial. It's absolutely vital. Edison for 30 mil, yes or no? Absolutely yes. What else is coming in? And it's underwhelming, but FFP is choking all teams. Yeah, I would agree. I would agree. I don't know who said Man United. If Man United signed De Ligt, that doesn't make them top 4 contenders. The signing of De Ligt does not take Man United from an 8th place finish into the top 4. They are missing way more than just a centre back. So yeah. But look, the business is underwhelming. No 2 ways about it, and it needs to improve, and it needs to improve fast because we're racing towards pre-season. Training begins on Monday for the players that haven't been on international duty, yeah, no one's saying De Ligt is not an upgrade on what United have got, but this idea that De Ligt makes United a top 4 side is utter nonsense. But yeah, let's move away from that business so far. We haven't even spent. Yeah, sure. Look, no one's disputing that these guys could turn into good players, but right now there's little evidence to suggest that, and there's no guarantees. No guarantees whatsoever. But let's move on to the Jonathan David situation. Let's move to Jonathan David's situation because there has been an update on Chelsea's pursuit of him, and it's not really much to add other than nothing has progressed with Jonathan David and Chelsea so far since interest was revealed a few weeks ago. He's available for around £20 million this summer. Chelsea clearly don't fancy it right now. Or maybe they don't fancy it at all. Because for me personally, 24 years of age, okay, a proven goal scorer. You know, yes, he's not great in the air, probably worse than Jackson, which is not ideal. He's a different profile to what we've got in the team right now. And at £20 million, you can't lose. It's a win-win scenario. At £20 million, I don't see what the downside is. But clearly, Chelsea aren't happy with what they see with David. Perhaps they're not fully on board with it. Maybe they're looking at other options. Maybe they want to wait. But the idea is, if Chelsea were dead set on him, then it would be if Chelsea were dead set on him, then they would look to go and get they would look to go and get the deal done because it's seemingly quite a straightforward deal to do. If, of course, David wants to move, and they would have ascertained that, they would have stood out. They would have obviously found out what the finances were, whether he would have been involved or not. So yeah, that's the realities there. But there are no. But there's seemingly no guarantees that Chelsea are going to make a move for him, and things have absolutely cooled down on that front. So there's been no update. The update is that Chelsea have not progressed their interest from the initial contact a few weeks ago. So yeah, I'm confused. Alvarez has gone quiet. Alvarez was never hot, by the way. Chelsea's pursuit for Julian Alvarez was never hot, so I don't really know what was going on there. But yeah, the pursuit of Alvarez was not hot, guys. There were some initial links, but yeah, that is definitely one that is not hot. Only reason I think Tottenham might be a stretch if Sanchez is our number one goalkeeper. Let's wait and see. He's a better goal scorer than Jackson. His overall all-round play, I don't think is better than Jackson's, but he's absolutely a better goal scorer than him. And that's an important thing. Yes, big up, brother. Appreciate you tuning in and becoming part of the community. Big love for the support. Alvarez was never hot, as I said. Let's be honest here. There are not many needle movers we can sign without getting into a bidding war and pay 100 mil. Look, I agree with that to a degree. There aren't that many players out there that are needle movers, particularly in the positions that we need. It's very difficult to get hold of a striker that is going to be a needle mover. It's difficult to get hold of attacking wingers that are going to be a needle mover. These things are not easy to do, guys. These things are absolutely not easy to do. There's not that many needle movers. Edison's a good shout, winner and experience. Yeah, it's not going to happen. I'd be shocked. For me, I think Edison takes the bag and goes to Saudi if he leaves Man City this summer, which I think would be a massive shame because he's got plenty to offer. But fair play to you. If you can go and secure the bag, go and secure the bag. Let's get Turkey's goalkeeper. I don't know if he's available or not. What's happened with John Duran? Nothing. I don't. Chelsea's interest has massively cooled on Duran. They did some background checks on him, and they've obviously flagged up stuff that they're not too keen on, and that's gone ice cold. That Duran deal. Look, Chelsea could of course maybe revisit it, but as it stands right now, a move for Duran is absolutely not on the cards at all. A move for Duran is definitely not on the cards. I do as well. I absolutely do as well. Nothing's happened to him already. A few bids were rejected, and we've not gone back for him. Atletico Madrid are insistent that he is not for sale. David was struggling in the Premier League. His stats are. I don't think his stats aren't low in League A. He scored like 83 or 84 goals in 180 something games. He's got a good goal scoring record, David. Wouldn't mind seeing outgoings with all the more potential good opportunity signings. Get one or two players we need that improve the team. Yeah, we do need to get one or two players that improve the team, but it's what players they are and what's going to be the market value for them. What's going to be the rate for them? I think it's the same for everyone in the market. I honestly think it's the same. I'm not sure how many big money signings there are going to be, this summer in general. I don't think there's that many. I look, are they going to be £100 million signings? Are they going to be sort of, I think for me personally, you're more going to be looking in the region of your sort of 40, 50, 60 million pound signings. I think you're going to see a lot more of those rather than, the big money signings, because I think Premier League clubs just, despite having the finances, with the FFP rules or the profit and sustainability rules, I'm not sure the scope and the maneuverability is there to make these kind of big level signings. Look, if a player doesn't want to move, he doesn't want to move. Sure, you can ask. You can try and convince, but ultimately, it's down to that player. I don't get the feeling that Julian Alvarez wants to leave Manchester City. And even if he did, what's to say that he'd want to come to Chelsea? There isn't anything to suggest that he would want to come to Chelsea at the end of the day, guys. So, we've got to be realistic here. You can try, but it's up to the player. No, the business is underwhelming. It is. I'm fully aware that there's not that many needle movers out there, but there's we should have. If we've made 6 summer signings now, then we absolutely should have made at least 1 or 2 of those. Should be guys that move the needle and improve the first team. Because right now, as I've said, none of these players improve the first team, and there are players out there that will improve the first team, but we just haven't got ourselves together and made moves for them. We haven't got ourselves together and made moves to them. So, yeah, it is a bit concerning for sure. But yeah, I look at this centre forward thing, guys, and I'll be honest. I really would look. Ultimately, we could get a situation where, bang, just out of nowhere, next week, we've signed a striker that we weren't linked with at all in the media. A bit like this Veiga move, but. My feeling is that I'm not sure we're going to sign a striker until after Guiyu's been assessed in pre-season. That would be my thoughts, because if you're going to sign a striker, which is a big position that we need to fill, you want to make sure that they are here for the start of pre-season. They have a full pre-season under the new manager. So that would be my concern on it, is that we're probably looking to make a signing. Maybe after pre-season, when we've assessed how Guiyu has done, and I don't know how well Guiyu's going to do. Balogun's not a needle mover for Chelsea. Do you think Chelsea is secretly going for Osimhen? No, I don't think so. Look, you can never say never in football, but I don't believe that Chelsea are going for Victor Osimhen. No, I don't believe that. Would you love somebody like Tony? Oh, absolutely. People that have tuned into the channel for a while now know that Tony's my first choice, but I don't think that's going to happen. Yeah, we've signed no needle movers. I didn't say there was no needle movers available. Yes, there's not that many out there, but there are needle movers. And this transfer business we've done so far, no one's moved the needle. Thinking Kunku will play false 9. Yeah, I think Kunku's going to play a lot in the number 9 role next season. Look, I think David would be a good signing. Absolutely, David would be a good signing. But look, the deal's obviously there to be done. Lille were prepared to sell him. He's not going to sign a new contract there. He could be available for as little as £20 million. There's an absolute bargain to be had there for someone. And Chelsea talk about needle movers and opportunities in the market. This is an opportunity in the market. David would be an upgrade on Jackson in terms of goal scoring, in terms of as a finisher. And it's a different profile of striker that we don't have in the squad. And given the options available in the striker market, this represents not only a good player, but it also represents very good value for money at £20 million. It's almost like, it's almost, as I said, a lose-lose situation, in my opinion, on that one. Yeah, it's an interesting one, that, isn't it? David Washington, we're happy to get him, but then when it comes to a proven player like Jonathan David, who would cost virtually the same amount of money, there seems to be reservations about him, which is an interesting one, an interesting one an interesting one indeed. So yeah, I would be slightly concerned about that. No doubt about it. But yeah, let's see. Let's see what's let's see what's in store for us. Because yeah, ultimately, we don't really know. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know who it's going to be. But all we do need to know is that Chelsea need to get a bit of a move on with this. Need to get a bit of a move on for sure. No, I absolutely wouldn't accept losing to Arsenal 5. It wasn't acceptable last season. It's never acceptable to lose games of football like that. Never acceptable at all to lose games of football in that manner. Guys, 188 in the building. Big yourselves up. Keep smashing the thumbs up button, people. 127 likes. Let's get this to 150 likes, people. Come on, guys. 20 more likes required. Keep smashing that like button. There's plenty of you in it that haven't smashed it. So please, let's get this to 150, guys. Would greatly appreciate it. So yeah, please run it up and keep subscribing to the channel as well. We are 20 subscribers away now from 10.4K. Keep going, guys. We can definitely get a few more subscribers on the board. So make sure you are smashing that subscribe button, join a community, become part of the channel. I would greatly appreciate all of the support, guys. So hit the subscribe button. What are you lot waiting for? 20 subscribers to go to 10.4K. 190 in the building. Big up to everyone. No, he's not better than Victor Osimhen. Yeah, true. We only buy Swiss Army knives now. Absolutely. A needle mover can only be determined in hindsight. We signed Lukaku, Aubameyang, Sterling, Koulibaly, and a ton of big names. We have signed big names. Yeah, sure. I'm not calling for a big name. I'm calling for someone that just improves the first team. Because right now, none of these signings we made are improving the first team. That's my point. Nothing's happened to him. He just he's surplus to requirements, I believe. He is absolutely surplus to requirements. Do you think these owners would go and spend big on a goal scorer? I hope so. You know, they've shown that they're prepared to spend big money, and they are ambitious in the transfer market in terms of being prepared to spend money. But look, we got to July, the first week of July, and no centre forward has been signed yet. We can't afford needle moves because if any other big team is in the running, we'll back out because we can't offer decent wages. No, I don't think we can't offer decent wages. By all accounts, Chelsea are prepared to offer big wages if they feel that the player, meets the characteristics to do so. But I'm not sure if we are seeing a player that meets the characteristics to do so. That would be my thoughts on it. Yeah, Lukaku was on the Roman and Marino, and it was a big mistake. Yes, guys, keep running it up. Keep running it up. Don't care about the name, but want a true improvement in the first team. Yeah, absolutely. I'm not so fussed about the name either. Just get me an improvement for the first team. Simple as that. Improve the first team, and that is what we need to do. How do I know they don't improve the first team? They might do over time, but they're not going to come in and make an improvement right now. One guy that's played a season in the Swiss League, someone that's not even started a Premier League game, someone that is played 7 times for Barcelona, toss in who is probably going to be a squad player, and then Dewsbury Hall, who's also probably going to be a squad player. So no, on the face of it, none of these team signings improve the first team. Of course, over time that could, they could prove otherwise. But on the face of it, right now, no Chelsea fan, in my opinion, can look at the signings we've made and think the first team is improved. Yes, thank you, brother. Big up. Appreciate the kind words and appreciate the support as well. Every season we're starting from scratch. We've become Swap Shop FC. What else have we got going on here? Our transfer window is like asking for an Armani jacket for birthday and getting a Primark one. Fair enough. We'd love to know what the budget is this season / how much we need to raise from player sales. We're fine with FFP this season. The player sales this summer will be going towards complying for next season. Sure. But that's my opinion. But there's no evidence to suggest that any of these players will improve the first team. That's the reality of the situation. I'm basing my opinion on the fact that the majority of these signings are totally unproven and have next to no experience at the top level. So therefore, how anyone can presume they're going to instantly improve the first team is beyond me. Well, no, probably not. No, probably not at the end of the day. What else is coming in? Are we having too many players around the club? Remember what happened a few years back? Look, there's certainly that feeling that we could be signing too many. So yeah, maybe maybe so. I don't know. Look, Tosin will look. They absolutely improved the squad, but I'm not sure if both those players go straight into the starting 11. I of course, guys, could be wrong, but I don't believe that both those players go straight into the starting 11. Clubs are greedy. Certain players are way overpriced. Yeah, look, there's not many deals that offer good value for money in the transfer market right now. It's a really hard thing to get right. It's a really difficult thing to get right. So yeah, that is the truth. Really, really difficult to get right. So let's wait and see. Let's wait and see on it. But yeah, I am a bit concerned, to be perfectly honest. But I'm happy. I hope that my concerns are disproven, because I'd love that more than anything else. More than anything else, I want my concerns to be disproven. That's the reality for me. But I'm just sharing my concerns, and I think they're valid concerns. I think they're absolutely valid concerns. Yeah, if anyone disagrees, that's absolutely fine. But I'd like to know what people's reasoning is for thinking that there's no concerns over the transfer business so far. I'd say the McLarens are favourites this weekend, but you can obviously never count out Verstappen. He's always got a chance every single weekend. But I'd fancy the McLarens as the favourites. I'm not too concerned about the outgoings. Look, we also need to remember, by the way, that in 2 international tournaments this summer have somewhat slowed down the progress of the somewhat slowed down transfers, because it's difficult to get stuff done whilst there's international tournaments on. Certainly with the big players, or certainly with players that are involved in the tournament. No doubt about it. In my mind. So yeah, that's where we are. That's where we are at the moment. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what moves we make next, because that Veiga move absolutely appeared out of anywhere. Yeah, of course. Yeah, no, you're right. I've never watched him. You must sit with me in my house and monitor what football I'm watching on the TV. No, you're absolutely right. I've never watched him. All I've done is just looked at his numbers. Yep, yep. You've worked me out. You've worked me out. No, I absolutely don't. Absolutely don't. Can we maybe look at loans of big players? Well, I mean, to be honest, I don't think many clubs are looking to loan out big players. You know, that's the reality of the situation. Not many clubs are looking to loan out big players, and that is absolutely the problem. Not many are looking to loan out big players. So that is where we are on that front. No, certainly not this summer, and nor would I want us to be signing them. If we'd signed Elise, Calafiori, Williams, and Oshiman, we wouldn't have guaranteed top four. But that's on the proviso that they all settle in. That's the issue. I've had this conversation before. Look, Chelsea clearly liked Tosin, but I think because it was a free transfer, that's why they moved. If you were looking at a 20 or 30 million pound fee, then I'm not sure they would have looked at doing it. You know, it's hard, it's impossible to know. But I think it was the fact that he was free was absolutely the attractive point for sure. No doubt about it. Guys, 14 likes away from 150. Keep smashing that like button, people. It's free. It really helps me out. And we were almost at the target of 150 likes. Come on, guys. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it moving. 15 likes to go. Run it up, run it up. 162 in the building. Will you be doing a predictions video for the new season? Yeah, potentially. I'll think about that nearer the time. Big up, big up. What are your thoughts on Chelsea appointing, say, Olofinjana for the talent management role? Yeah, sure. He's an ex-Nigerian international, obviously knows African football, knows the continent. Yeah, on the surface of it, without knowing too many details, for me, it seems like a decent appointment. Yeah, Chiesa reportedly available for 25 million euros. He's not part of Thiago Motta's plans at Juventus. He's got a year left on his contract. They're not going to offer him a new one, so he'll be sold this summer. And as I said in the video that I uploaded yesterday, you know, there is a really good opportunity in the market for someone to secure a top player on the cheap. There's opportunity in the market. I will hate next season if we keep playing like last season, watch from Australia, wake up 4 or 5 a.m. lots of time. I haven't missed a game in the last. Yeah, bro. I've got big respect for fans that get up early doors and watch Chelsea every single week. You know, that takes some doing at those, you know, godforsaken hours. Not sure people understand that players also have to want to join us as well. Yep, absolutely, absolutely. No, we're not considering a bid for Mitoma, but he, according to Ben Jacobs, is liked internally at the football club, you know, but there's a long way to go from being liked internally to a bid actually materializing. So I wouldn't be banking on that, to be perfectly honest. Right. Let's see what else there is to go through. Guys, 10 more likes. Come on, keep doing it. Smash the like button. 150 incoming. 10 to go, people. We're almost there. How do I think Mudryk will do this season? I hope well. Maresca's style of play should absolutely suit him. So I'm hoping he does well. But, you know, until I see him in pre-season, it's hard to judge and hard to ascertain how these players are going to do. So yeah, we are going to need to wait and see on that front before deciding how said player is going to do, guys. But yeah, there's the opportunity for him to do well. Sure. Yes. Yes, big up, brother. I hope we get back to winning trophies as well, bro. That's what we all want at the end of the day. That is what we all want. So yeah, let's hope maybe that happens next season, but let's certainly hope that happens sooner rather than later. Could do hit or flop prediction video. Yeah. There's lots of stuff out there. We have to get back to UCL football soon. Yeah, it absolutely is hurting us, and I think you'll start to see this summer it hurting us as well. I absolutely agree on that front. I would agree. I think it's the last chance for a number of players next season. I really do think it's the last chance for a number of players next season. What else have we got going on here? I wonder if the sporting directors genuinely think we're going to finish top 4. I think they probably do. We should go for Dusan Vlahovic. I don't think Vlahovic is interested in leaving Juve. Elfanjala was a midfielder. Yeah, okay. Can't miss another season without Champions League. Yeah, no, we can't. We absolutely can't. Yes, big up, bro. Appreciate you immensely. Welcome aboard. Appreciated massively. Yeah, potentially, but let's hope that other players can step up to the plate. I think a fully fit Reece James, a fully fit Christopher Nkunku, and a fully fit Romeo Lavia are going to make big differences to this Chelsea team. And Fofana as well. Those 3 being fit again, it's going to be like having new signings. It's going to be like having new signings, guys. I don't know if the Jordan sponsor's still on the table. If Chelsea suddenly get Champions League, will Jordan suddenly come back on board? I don't really know what the ins and outs are of that. But yeah, to have any chance of it, we absolutely need to be getting that Champions League football. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. So yeah, there we go. There we go. Guys, we're 6 likes away from 150. Keep smashing it, people. We're almost there. Everyone just assuming we won't have half our squad out with injuries. Yeah, that is a big assumption. No denying it. That is a big assumption, people. A big assumption. So, yeah, let's wait and see. Let's wait and see what happens on that front. There's nothing we can really do about it. We just got to hope that those things are rectified. Maybe Maresca's style of training won't impact as heavily on injuries as perhaps people thought Pochettino's did. So, yeah, there we go. But, guys, I'm going to round this one out now. Big up for all the support this morning / this afternoon. It's been greatly appreciated. On the way out, smash that like button. We're about 3 or 4 away from 150 now. Let's get those knocked off on the way out. Please smash the subscribe button as well. Less than 20 subs now from 10.4K. If you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button on the way out. Join the community, become part of the channel, and help me get towards that 10.4K milestone. But yeah, guys, Chelsea have signed Renato Veiga. No move for Jonathan David yet. Appointments have been made within the new academy setup. Let's see what the rest of the day and the next 24 hours has got in store for us. I'll be back tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow morning / afternoon, similar sort of time. But until then, guys, enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Enjoy the Euros if you're watching it. Let's hope England can get the job done for those of you supporting England. And I'll catch you lot tomorrow. Smash the like, subscribe, up the Chelsea, and peace out.